Hey everyone, Sam here, also known as Mr. Stainless 001, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the new features and pieces of information that were shared on the Monolith dev stream for Shadow of War this week. But before we get into today's news, if you want to talk with me more about today's video, or just join the community here on the channel, feel free to join my Discord server. A link to it is in the video description. Equally folks, if any of you know a European retailer, or a retailer that ships to the European Union or the UK/Ireland, and that still has copies of the Mithril edition in stock, please let me know. I haven't been able to find a copy of it anywhere, and holy crap, I need to get my hands on it, guys. So if you do know anyone or a retailer that is selling them, hit me up in the comments. But back to the news. The first thing that was confirmed in the stream, I know a lot of you guys were asking about it in the chat, is that yes, we can summon spiders to aid us during combat. I don't know why you would want to summon spiders to aid you in combat. My skin is crawling thinking about spiders helping me and crawling all over the battlefield, helping me in combat. I'm not even going to think about it anymore, but yes, it is going to be possible. It was also confirmed by Michael DePlatter that Uruks in these story missions will be unique to each player, which is pretty cool. In Shadow of Mordor, of course, one of the first main missions was to track down and kill Gimub the Slaver. Gimub was a character that existed, therefore, in every player's game. Now, what Michael is saying here is that will no longer be the case. Equally, if you defeat an Uruk that is tied to a story mission, they may reappear in the open world by cheating death in order to be a thorn in Talion's side as the game continues. It seems that they're really aiming to make each player's experience unique to them as they play through the game, and that's really cool. That this element of kind of unique gameplay with the Nemesis system in the game was the main selling point, I guess, for me, and I think for a lot of people in Shadow of Mordor. So it's great to see that they are reinforcing, kind of fleshing that element of unique gameplay further for Shadow of War. I can't wait to see what else they have in stock there. Equally, there was some more clarification on what the strengths and dazed by traits were and how they worked. Basically, the order in which you can see them on the breakdown screen. You'll see them in the top left of the screen at the moment. You'll see its strengths. There's those little 4 icons, and then they've got dazed by. There's 4 icons there. Basically, the way that these work, the order that you see them there, from left to right, is the order of lethality they have to that orc. The dazed by traits are simply traits that will stun or daze that Uruk in combat. One thing that was also confirmed was the level cap on the Uruks themselves. We can now see our Uruk captains grow to level 60. Holy crap. To put that into context, the highest level they could be in Shadow of Mordor was level 20, so that is a massive increase. Next, they went on to talk about the arena, which is something we saw for the first time in the IGN first videos this week. Now, one thing Michael DePlatter said was that although we've been shown the Minas Ithil arena in the IGN first videos, every region in the game will have its own arena. He equally did say that these arenas will intersect with the main story at some point, so we could probably assume that there will be some form of perhaps arena champion in each one that Talion will have to go around defeating, kind of like the boxing champion side missions in The Witcher 3. Again, that is just my assumption, but it's probably not a stretch to think that something like that will be in the game. One other thing they did mention is that you can use the arena to strengthen your own army by sending your followers into the arena to fight or duel another Uruk. You will be able to fight in the arena as well, so you could or you are able to interrupt some fights by just jumping in and helping out the competitor you like by killing their opponent or by branding them both. Next, they went on to talk about war in Shadow of War. You will be able to bring your own siege beasts when taking down a fortress, like siege graugs, drekks, etc. And you can mount the siege drekks as well. You know, the siege graugs as well, the guys with the cannons on their backs. Equally, there was some clarification on how many Uruks you can bring to siege with you, and it is the following: up to 6 war chiefs, and I assume those 6 war chiefs will of course bring their bodyguards and so on and so forth with them as well. Each one of those war chiefs can bring a different upgrade for the siege with them, from siege beasts to specialized units for the assault like sappers and banner bearers, which I thought were pretty cool. Basically, Michael had said that banner bearers will run into the battle with their banners held high, plant them into the ground, and that will then inspire troops around them, probably within a certain area of effect. Equally, these war chiefs can bring in traps or set up traps at the siege as well, which probably will be able to be used to help turn the battle in your favor. Something I thought was pretty cool that they mentioned was that the side missions are going to be fleshed out more. They'll have their own cutscenes, story arcs, character progression. Basically, the side missions in Shadow of War are going to feel more fleshed out rather than just a typical side mission that's simply gameplay focused. One thing that was showcased this week in the IGN First coverage was our interaction with the people of Gondor, and they did confirm that you'll be able to summon Gondorian soldiers to assist you in combat out in the open world. Now, I know a lot of people were concerned when they heard that in the Twitch chat because they thought that by summoning in these Gondorian soldiers, the Gondorian soldiers would then attack friendly Uruks, so for instance Talion's bodyguards or own captains. They did confirm that isn't going to happen. If you summon in the Gondorian soldiers, they will simply attack hostile units, not Talion's own forces. Another thing that they brought clarification to was what the Silver Towers would look like in Shadow of War. So in Shadow of Mordor, we unlocked secrets, collectible locations on the map by climbing these silver towers, these towers of light. In Shadow of War, these will return, but in a different form. This time, Sauron has built a number of towers throughout Mordor and placed his own Palantirs, the seeing stones that you've seen in the Lord of the Rings films, atop them. It's then our job to climb the towers, claim the Palantirs, and we'll then be able to use them ourselves to see across the map. That's how we're going to unlock those little locations and see more of the map. Finally, on the topic of Celebrimbor's Barrows, which were also revealed this week, by seeking out and completing the Barrows missions and playing through the flashbacks, you will unlock an epic armor set that Celebrimbor used during the war against Sauron. I know a lot of people had been wondering about that, and there equally will be riddles throughout the world that, when solved, will unlock new areas of the Barrows, which in turn will unlock even more epic gear. So folks, that is all of the big nuggets of news that were shared in this week's Shadow of War stream. Why not let me know what you think of what's been shared down in the comments. In the meantime, folks, if this is the first time you've came across my channel, you are incredibly welcome. Why not hit that subscribe button and you'll be kept notified of when new videos go live. But in the meantime, folks, I hope you're all having a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.